Alrighty then. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday, and welcome back to another edition of our Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by BWOMS. That's the Barbed Wire Open Mic series, and we are based out of El Paso, Texas, here in the U.S. Southwest. But of course, this is an online mic, which means thanks to the technology, we are able to connect with people from all over the country, from all over the world. And so, again, we thank everyone who has signed up to read their work, perform their work today. And if you're tuning in, also welcome. I know a lot of you guys like to wait a little bit until we go live. So, as always, I thank you guys as well. And if you're just tuning in at any point, during the live stream, I definitely encourage you guys to say hello in the chat. It's just nice to know who's here, who's listening in. If you hear something you really like, that really inspires you, that you really love, or makes you think, just write a little something in the chat. It's just tonight. It's nice to know people are listening and here with us. Unlike maybe like a traditional in-person show where you have like a stage and you can see the audience and you can see them reacting to your performance. Here it's all like intangible. We don't know. We can't see you guys reacting to the work. So yeah, just even if it's just throwing fire emojis in the chat or something like that. So yeah, my name is Richie. I will be your host. You can find me online, Instagram, Deadwall Reveries, and just links everywhere. But ultimately, just follow the Barbed Wire Open Mic series. We have events going on all throughout the month, every week. I think at this point we've been having like almost three events a week, and that is intense. But that's also really great news because that means our team has been growing and there's more people that I can trust to help lead shows. And it's just not me, which is a beautiful thing. And so, really quick, just to get down to that business, obviously, we're online every Monday. If you just want to check it out for now and join us the following Monday, we'll be here. We do have a sign up sheet that we put up on the first on our link tree, which you can find pretty much on all of our social media pages. It's just Linktree El Paso BWOMS. I'll share the link, or it's in the description of this video. I don't even have to share any links. There's a bunch of links in the description of the video, so check that out. But this week, we normally have a Tuesday open mic. Every Tuesday, we usually have one. There is going to be like an out of town band or something happening. So fortunately, we get the night off, which is fine because I could use it. It'll be really nice. But with that said, though, if you were looking to performing Tuesday, don't worry. We'll be back the following at Rosewood, the following Tuesday at Rosewood. Now, the other thing is a new event that we're doing, and I really want to promote because I definitely want to get more people out there, is our storytelling event. We decided to put together open mics or workshops so people can work on their craft or share what they're working on, some new stuff, and really just kind of get community together. So we've been doing poetry open mics now with writing workshops. We just had a debut singer-songwriter workshop in open mic, which was really fun. Lara Lynette was there. Who else? Maybe from here, for those of you in El Paso, Larissa was there. I mean, a lot of people that you've seen before, a lot of familiar faces. So that will be happening like every other month. But Wednesday is our storytelling one, and that is called Storycraft. Essentially, it's going to be an opportunity for someone, anyone, maybe you, to share a story, some prose, up to 15 minutes in front of a crowd. And then the following 15 minutes will be for Q&A, a little bit of feedback, and just a conversation about the work. And it's the way it works is we're going to draw names from a golden chalice. That's right. You put your name, put in the chalice, and we will draw a name and we'll do up to four names each night. So this is every other Wednesday. This place is downtown it's almost like a speakeasy because it's not really advertised that much. They're not really officially open yet. They're called Crown of Crows over there on Myrtle by the courthouse area. And it's like you would not expect a place like that in that area. You walk in and all of a sudden in a tavern and some other cool things planned. But yeah, doors are going to open at 6 and then the first name will be drawn at 7. But don't let that, if you feel like you're going to be late, don't let that stop you because we're drawing four names that night. And so if you want to come through, also, you don't have to put your name in the chalice. You can just listen, you can give feedback, or you can just hang out. So that's Storycraft. That'll be run by Fernando, aka the King Grizz. You guys already know. And that's really our only BWOMS event this week, other than the online mic. But I do want to promote as well on Thursday night. I will be performing in downtown El Paso, featured performer, featured poet, along with a jazz band. Some of the best in the city, including Billy Towns on keys, David Rodriguez on bass, and Eddie Provencio on drums. I also have invited two other poets to join me on stage, Kiwi, who some of you have seen here briefly, like once or twice. Some of you may have met in person at some of our in-person mics, as well as Inanna Ishtar, who, makes it out every now and then as well. So hopefully you can come out for that. It's a late show. It's from 9 to 11:30 downtown International Bar. Okay, that's it for commercials, guys. Definitely follow us, and we will see you. Let's see. Yeah, let's go and get this thing started. So, as with any traditional open mic, we must start with a mic check. And you already know where I'm going with this. We have our first mic in the house. It's Michael Sindler joining us from Denver. Mike, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Good to be here. Good to see everybody. Nice that everybody who's out there in Zoom land is out there too, or in YouTube land, and especially for you YouTube land people putting up this thing here, lighthouseriders.org. Wonderful organization, has all kinds of great workshops and things, and beginning of June will be Lit Fest, which is especially wonderful, and highly recommend going to check out the site now to see what the things that are going to be available virtually are, and get in on them while there's still room to do it. That being said, I'm going to start with a new one, trying to do this whole 30-30 thing. Keeping up with it so far for what it's worth. It's called Spring Comes Slow. Spring can come late here, nestled in front of the Rockies. False starts and fickle blooms, buds unsure of job security, holding folded petals inside as long as possible. New snow can show in any month but August. Hide and go pop for stamens full of pollen. Sad bees hover and hunger for floral exposure. Gardeners still harvesting last of winter crops. Tough leaf veggies that shake off snowfall. Pulling up carrots and slicing cabbage, turning soil to ease entry for frailer species in love with gentler touch. Tricky times, freezing mornings and summer-like afternoons, birds long adapted, not fooled, nor are squirrels ready for a new year of nuts to hide. Human Coloradans, always layered, take in greening with grins, peaks still white, let late skiers slide through snow. Spring comes slow in Colorado. And thought I would go ahead and do some stuff for Passover while we're in the middle of it. And this first one is one I wrote yesterday, I guess, called Facing East. Feeling the fine line between oppressed and oppressor, parsley dipped in tears. And this other one is one I guess I wrote last year for it, and it's a ringa. The last one was a haiku. This is a ringa called Elijah Vetches. A good Jewish ghost only comes in to visit if there is a chair left to sit at the table. Afterlife, such as Surus, a nice glass of wine, or even Manischewitz helps the haunting. But why just one day a year? My schedule is wide open. I love Passover as much as the next spirit. But would it kill them to invite me for Purim or even Rosh Hashanah? Any occasion. I love a good bar mitzvah. Hanukkah is fun. Who wouldn't want a profit? I can add an extra oomph the Goldbergs next door don't have. And with that, I will put on the hat and read some less embarrassing stuff. This first one, I was lucky enough to see a wonderful article that Kit put up on Facebook from LitHub on Jane Hirschfield. Just fantastic article. And I thought this particular poem in there was well worth reading. It's called On the Fifth Day. On the fifth day, the scientists who studied the rivers were forbidden to speak or to study the rivers. The scientists who studied the air were told not to speak of the air. And the ones who worked for the farmers were silenced, and the ones who worked for the bees. Someone from deep in the Badlands began posting facts. The facts were told not to speak and were taken away. The facts, surprised to be taken, were silent. Now it was only the rivers that spoke of the rivers, and only the wind that spoke of its bees, while the unpausing, factual buds of the fruit trees continued to move toward their fruit. The silence spoke loudly of silence, and the rivers kept speaking of rivers, of boulders and air, bound to gravity, earless and tongueless. The untested rivers kept speaking. Bus drivers, shelf stockers, code writers, machinists, accountants, lab techs, cellists kept speaking. They spoke the fifth day of silence. And lastly, meanwhile, back at Passover, this one is by Nan Cohen and is called A Newborn Girl at Passover. Consider one apricot in a basket of them. It is very much like all the other apricots, an individual already, skin and seed. Now think of this day, one you will probably forget. The next breath you take, a long drink of air. Holiday or not, it doesn't matter. A child is born and doesn't know what day it is. The particular joy in my heart, she cannot imagine. The taste of apricots is in store for her. Thank you all very much. And happy holidays in this season, whatever your tradition is that you follow.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. As always. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We're gonna go ahead and speaking of 30 for 30, I just posted on our live chat a link. If you guys aren't familiar, we are hosting a 30 for 30 challenge, and challenge in a sense is just sometimes you kind of have to push yourself to write a little bit each day, something we call generative writing. In many ways, these Monday night mics are like a long commercial for Tumble Words with all the people who are involved and lead it and do great work out of it. But to me, I've always struggled with just writing, just because I've always had anxiety about putting something down on page and feeling good with it, or feeling that it had to be great right away, or feel good with it right away. So I'm partaking in the challenge to push myself a little bit, just to write a little bit each day, and find something there, hopefully that can be expanded on, edited later. Anyway, so yeah, we're doing a 30 for 30 challenge. I posted a link. You can just email us your pieces. It doesn't matter if you've missed. It's day 14. If you've missed all 14 days so far, join us, submit something on the 15th day when you can. In fact, like I said, we just got a brand new submission for the first time from someone today. So that'll be posted tomorrow. We posted it on our Substack, and it's just really a fun thing. The idea is just to write, share what we're working on, share what we're writing, enjoy it, and really celebrate the process. That's really what it is, celebrating the process. But of course, if you want to keep it to yourself, that's cool. Read them at the mics as well, like Mike did. And someone who has been submitting every day, really fun pieces is next, and it is David Latif. So, David, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. Welcome back to the show.
Awesome, thanks. Yeah, I've been submitting every day. Some of them are better, some of them are worse. The ones I wrote today were in response to another great poet, and it's fun. It's a challenge trying to come up with new shit every single day, but I like it. Speaking of holidays, I, as a non-religious nerd, celebrate a very interesting holiday. It's called Comic Con. It comes around once a year. So this is a poem that I wrote about going to Comic Con and how it's become a surprisingly meaningful, almost religious experience. This is called The Pros of Cons. Conventions are one of the few places where I don't feel out of place, no matter how strangely I dress. I'm wearing a concept cosplay, which is to say, a nerd costume that is even nerdier than usual. And some people get it, usually after I've explained the idea of a DIY punk Mandalorian, but some will see a punk jacket and a pride flag and know what it's about. They flash their pride pins back at me or say things like, I really like your flag. And I know what they mean. The only problem is that it's hard to hug a person in armor. You'd think the Mandalorians would have thought of that. This next one is another one of my 30 for 30 poems. It's about executive dysfunction and ADHD. It's called The Immovable Object and the Stoppable Person. I find it so hard to explain executive dysfunction to neurotypical people. How do I explain that over the entire course of the day, I walked into the kitchen with a plan of cooking and just couldn't get myself to do it? It's mental isometric exercise, except my brain never gets stronger, just more exhausted. I spend all day trying to roll this boulder and failing. But all people see is the lack of progress and assume a lack of effort. They call me lazy, say that I clearly don't care enough, that if I just tried harder, the boulder would be at the top of Olympus. So tomorrow, I have to roll two boulders. Um, I'm gonna do one more from 30 for 30. This one is untitled. If you can think of a title, let me know. I'm lucky that I'm running away across town instead of across the planet. I'm a forgetful refugee. I thought I had packed all of my art supplies in my art supply box, but I didn't. So I have to run back to the emotional wreckage of a house and grab what I can, hoping and praying to gods and probabilities and the gods of probabilities that he isn't there. All the while, I think about the houses that are physical wreckages, bombed or burned by fascists or fire. I think of the people who fled across continents to find someplace safe, unable to go back for the things they forgot or remembered and just couldn't carry. I'm not the first refugee in my family. I won't be the last. I just hope I remember the things that I need when I have to run away again. Um, I'm going to do one more from my book. It's called The Chair, A Cluttered Pile of Neuroqueer Poetry. I always feel like I have to do one promo poem, so I'm going to do a short one. It's called Emergency Chocolate. I kept a chocolate bar that was labeled Emergency Chocolate in the butter cubby of my mostly empty fridge. I didn't think I would need it. I had a bad day that I've had before when the pile of things I didn't do on all the other bad days crashed down onto me, and I swear that it'll never happen again, just like I did last week. I'll buy another chocolate bar. Thank you, Richie, for hosting this. Thank you all so much for being supportive. And yeah, I love y'all. Thank you so much. Try out the 30 for 30. You don't have to fucking like you don't have to do every day. Just do a day. Just do a thing. My poem idea for tomorrow is going to be a poem about how not all poems have to be good poems. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, David. And we'll make sure to get the link there to your book if people want to check that out as well as your socials. But yeah, to reiterate what David said, the whole point is I think when if you see other people writing, it also kind of motivates you to like write a little bit as well as kind of the other thing. Because I've certainly editing these pieces off sometimes really late at night. I'm putting everyone's work together. I'm like thinking about my piece and ending with that one. So, with that said, I talked about tumble words just now, and someone who has created entire works and collections based off things that were written from tumble words. One of the best promos for it, I could say, is Robin Schofield, who's here and always rocking a cool fit. So happy Monday, Robin. Good to see you again. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Hey Richie, hey everybody, happy Monday. I'm going to read some poems that I haven't, at least that I can remember, put in the computer yet. So this is going to be kind of an advertisement for a different poetry workshop I've been to. I think this one was from the last time I was in rural England at Barkham Farms on Exmoor. So I was on the moors. But this one is called Object Permanence, and it's after Madeline Cravens. Slabs of stone across a narrow river, the ancient need to cross over. Carry me over, over to the other side. If the river floods, the stones can wash away. The river slices through the valley. The great river in the desert is dry in winter, dammed up by a lawsuit, $1 million dream. Oh, carry me over. Native bees circle the wild rose. The migrants can wade across, but then comes razor wire and a dark highway, too dangerous. The ancient need to cross over. The lynx is confused by car headlights between night and day. The Sphinx refuses to answer. So why don't you pose another riddle before you cross the river? Or pose for the candid photo with candied cashews on the slant of the slope? How many trees in the forest? All the ash trees drooping and dying. How many? I wake up in the middle of my life in a dark wood. I am not afraid of the she-wolf. My mother was much worse. I climbed the tallest hackberry tree. My mother said the berries were poisonous, so I ate them like a bird. Oh, carry me over to the other side. No one could find me in the tree. I tried to pet the tarantula. The need to cross over, the desire to leap off the bridge. No one needs to know the answer to the riddle, but I know it. How many trees in the forest? More numerous than the distant stars with their need to cross over, their light going out before it reaches us a stream of photons through narrow, steep valleys and over the moors to the sea. I walk over the steady slabs of stone as the river bubbles in the shade of the oaks and beeches. My ancient need for shade and light and leaves leaping in the light breeze. How many trees in the forest, their ancient needs, their hunger for sunlight, my thirst for their oxygen, my ancient need to cross over. The trees are so old. How many in the forest? Two, two, two trees in the forest, the green and the withered. Okay, so that was a lot of English influence there. And then when I was in San Miguel, it was so much fun. I zoomed into Tumblewords. And I wasn't going to do that. I was going to go to the botanical gardens, but the wind was blowing pretty bad, and they don't often sometimes they don't trim the trees, and I got hit by a tree branch falling down one year in San Miguel, so I'm pretty leery about the wind blowing. So anyway, I went from a roomy workshop to one on Philip Larkin. And it was done by Kit, and it was called Never Such Innocence Again. I'm sorry, Ben Franklin. We couldn't keep the Republic. Mr. Reagan started the decline, and Fox News. I'm sorry, Dr. Franklin, that the murderous progressive 60s gave me hope when I was a child. But then the assassinations, then the crook, Nixon, a Quaker, restrained by the courts. And then, here we are, with a big crook, a low-life grifter and fraud running the Republic into the ground. He wears makeup. Remember how Nixon refused makeup for the first televised debate? He dyes his fake orange hair, his jowls sag, his Diet Coke belly big with burgers. He hates what's best in America. This racist pig, a man of such venality, zero morals, no respect for the rule of law. A man like Mussolini. I can only hope he'll end like Mussolini. All that you feared, Ben Franklin, everything that you feared has come about, I'm afraid. Let's see, and then a really new one from Tumbleword. This is entirely new. It was just written last week. Saturday. And Kit was doing this really fun workshop on wrestling. And people might have thought, well, I don't know anything about wrestling. I might not get anything out of it. But that doesn't matter in Tumblewords. I went to a Dungeons and Dragons one that Lee Martinez Soto gave. And I got a fine poem out of it, though I never knew anything about Dungeons and Dragons. So anyway, this one was about kayfabe, pro wrestling. I don't have a title. I'm one of those little bird devils, imagined, manifested by Hieronymus Bosch. I hop around the garden of earthly delights, searching for worms and sparkly things. I can fly through the smoky, flaming atmosphere, far above the four horsemen of the apocalypse who ride toward our little cosmos faster and faster. The fires singe my devil wings. My devil syrinx can't sing any more in the dry air. All I manage is a crow call, harsh and ugly. My dinosaur feet also devilish. This dense sandstorm comes from hell, is rusty red like the flames of hell, where I come from, but I fell to earth, but the garden caught fire, the snakes and deer fled, the first fruits of the pomegranates dropped to the ground, while the trees burned. I rise from the ash, I am dark like the wind. All right, and since it's National Poetry Month, let's see what happened to that thing. Oh, whoops. It went away. There we go. I think I got it. Yeah, I'm going to read an Ars Poetica, and it's by one of my favorite poets, Frank O'Hara. And this was written sometime in the 60s, I believe. He died young in 66 when he was only 40. And he was an art critic and an art dealer, kind of more famous for that than for poetry when he was alive. So this is called Why I Am Not a Painter by Frank O'Hara. I am not a painter. I am a poet. Why? I think I would rather be a painter, but I am not. Well, for instance, Mike Goldberg is starting a painting. I drop in. Sit down and have a drink, he says. I drink. We drink. I look up. You have sardines in it. Yes, it needed something there. Oh, I go and the days go by and I drop in again. The painting is going on and I go and the days go by. I drop in. The painting is finished. Where's sardines? All that's left is just letters. It was too much, Mike says. But me, one day I am thinking of a color, orange. I write a line about orange. Pretty soon it is a whole page of words, not lines. Then another page. There should be so much more, not of orange, of words, of how terrible orange is and life. Days go by. It is even in prose. I am a real poet. My poem is finished and I haven't mentioned oranges yet. It's 12 poems. I call it Oranges. And one day in a gallery, I see Mike's painting called Sardines. Thank you. And back to you, Richie.
All right. Thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. Hold on, let me get to the spotlight here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Clap it up, chop it up. Again, if you guys are watching on YouTube, feel free to leave some comments in the chat, flame emojis, hundreds, whatever you're feeling. If you felt that float, I like to use the little surfboard guy. Or any of the dancers if you're feeling like uplifted a little bit. But yeah, this list is growing, by the way. So we got a couple more people signed up. So we're just going to try and move this thing along really quickly. Before I do, I want to give a shout out to Lex. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to Serena, EPCC student. Welcome, welcome. If you are, you can find directions on how to get credit for the Down Passport program in the description of the video. I mean, just watch, listen, and then write an email to me. Just a little summary of what you experienced, who you like, that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're gonna go to keep going on, and our next performer uh has been coming through. Not just online, but in person, like at our open mic at Rally Point Coffee East. And on top of that, also got to submit a little something for 3030 recently, which was nice to have as well. We have Ed Gonzalez up on the mic. Ed, hey, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, I'm on. Great. Okay. Thank you everybody. Happy Monday. I know you just prompted it, but I always have such a good time. I had such a great experience at Rally Point. I just wanted to thank to Jazz and to Richie. And I hope for more East Side activities. I'm gonna go ahead and start off because I had like 3 pieces or 4 pieces, and I think I added another one too. And I'm going to read them as quickly as I could. And this one is actually from Kit's Tumble Words. I'm still a little pumped about the whole situation. So this one's is the KFAB thing. Disregarded. My beliefs have not wavered much, And thanks to conservatives and those family members, I don't have time for them. I hear from people who relay messages to me because I have blocked them. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear their speeches. I don't care. If any past family and friends gone conservative, I've blocked them, blocked the phone, blocked their online stuff. Talk to the finger. Peddle your shit to someone who cares. Blood or no blood, save your Kool-Aid drunk speeches for someone else. And when you are proven wrong and ready to admit that you got screwed, tell it to somebody else. You are done. And if you persist, I got 24-inch pythons to pound you into oblivion. And that last part was per Hulk Hogan. Not really one of my favorites, but he always knew how to put on a show. And okay, I'm gonna go work onto this one. This is actually something I've been really working on, and I'm continue to work on it because it's about an issue that does is affect to a lot of other people, and it affects me as well. This is in regard. It's called The Nine. I actually read an unedited version of this at Rally Point. Having crossed to the other side, you turn your head wanting to look back, but a pile of salt I do not want to be. I have been on this road before and vowed never to return, but there, thanks to carefully placed triggers placed there by me, I am now returned. I can feel again, not merely where the joy was a world away, because it's a hard crawl through the rocky, unending trail and plunge into the bottomless Red Sea of anxiety. Once there, nothing. No time but future and past to comprehend. Once on the other side of the Moses life, you can use your Moses-like stratagems to get you through the hard-fought, crushing wisdom you will find there. Although burned to a crisp once you traverse the 9 levels of hell, that's no way to live. Believe me, I know. So breathe in joy, a joy like no other. Stay present. Be a beacon for all to follow your light. And that one's called The Nine, and that's something I'm working on. Okay, and now I've got a few covers. And this one is by Jacqueline Oshero, The Window Seat. My 16th egret from the window of this train, white against the marshes, shocking green Cushing, Long Island Sound from Kingston down to Mystic, against the shoreline of erratic discipline, to egret so completely still, the colors so extreme, the window of my train might be rolling out a scroll of meticulous ancient Chinese paintings. My heart beat down to its side in liquid characters. No tenses, no conjunctions, just erratic strokes on paper from inner bark of sandalwood. Egret, marshes, the number of 16, white and the essential shocking green, perhaps even a character, the kingfisher. Green balanced with jade white. In ancient poems, every other element implicit in the brushstroke. Elliptic fusion of calm and motion, assuring my train moves and marsh gives way to warehouses and idle factories, that my 16 egrets still remain, each crescent moon against the emerald sky, alabaster on kingfisher green, its body motionless, and one lithe leg cradling the serendipitous wings. And that was Jacqueline Oshero. Okay. And this one, I know I've been prompting, but it's like every time I come to I find a new one, I, I go crazy again. This for Cheryl Luna's Magnificent Errors. This one entitled Meditation on Hunger. One poet sings within another poet cries. Childlike they paint with the sway of warm colors, hungry for the being heard. Their words, rivetless, unnoticed. They speak more smog than substance. Nobody's listening. Everyone's clamoring for their own. Desiring awards, laughter, and applause. Their poems lay unread, so they hunger. Further into the music of loss until they begin to ripen on the ground. So sweet below everything they desire. And Cheryl Luna. And I was going to stop there, but after what Robin read, I'm going to go ahead and do this one really quick. But she brought up the subject, so sorry, y'all. This one's from the Professor Neil Peart. It's more lyrics. This one's entitled "The Trees." There is unrest in the forest. There is trouble with the trees, for the maples want more sunlight, and the oaks ignore their pleas. The trouble with the maples, and they're quite convinced they're right. They say the oaks are just too lofty, and they grab all the light. But the oaks can't help their feelings if they like the way they're made, and if they're wondering why the maples can't be happy in their shade. There's trouble in the forest, and all the creatures have fled, as the maples scream, "Oppression!" and the oaks just shake their head. So the maples formed a union and demanded equal rights. The oaks are just too greedy. We will make them give us light. For there is no oak oppression. They passed a noble law. All the trees are kept equal by hatchet, axe, and saw. So, and that's all my reading for today. Thank you to BWOMS for letting me read. And I'm really going to try to make it to Crows on Wednesday because storytelling is my thing, and I hope to make it out there for everybody. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to continue to listen to everyone's wonderful work, and thank you again.
All right, thank you, Ed, who also has a Substack. I did link it in the YouTube live chat if you guys are hanging out right there. Yes, Wednesday, Chronic Crows, come on through. If you guys are a storyteller, come through with a story ready, up to 15 minutes, and maybe we'll be chosen to share that night. If not, you can also listen to others and give feedback, or you can just sit back and enjoy and listen. We're going to keep this thing going. We have a debut. We missed him last week, but today's the debut. Joining us from Bossier City, Louisiana, we have Nat Nito. So, and after that, by the way, is going to be Doc Janning, followed by Storm. All right. So, yeah, Nat Nito, you are up. Let's get you on the screen. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you. When you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Mute. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Josue. I go by Not Nito. I want to say thank you for having me. I love what I'm hearing. I feel as if I'm underdressed for a party because what I'm wanting to share is like a song, and even though it does have a positive message or whatever, I've never been a part of a group to where like yo, Josue. I never been a part of a group. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I never been a part of a group that shares poetry and stuff, and I do write poetry as well, but I can't seem to find any of my stuff. But I am gonna try to write some stuff for this 15 for 15 that remaining is. I like poetry, man. It's been a while since I've listened to some or even partaken, so I really appreciate what's going on right here. It's a vibe, and appreciate y'all for chilling. But what I do want to do is I'm just going to read it a cappella instead, and without any music. That way, keep in motion with the vibe that we got going on. So this is what I call it's called manifest. So let me start by okay. I'm gonna read it kind of, but not like a song version, but kind of just read it. Okay. So, yes, Lord, I'm blessed. Deep breaths. Manifest. Success. Dress to impress. Obsessed. Decompress. Baby steps. Never me quit. God's gift. Obvious. Oh yes. Never me quit. Turn up. All the way up. It's stuck. Run up a check. How about that? Call back. I don't wanna talk. 100%. 100%. 100%. Never me quit. Could've walked a mile in my shoes. Swear to God. Walk through the fire if I have to. Let it burn. The fuck I'ma listen to you for? You just tryna crush my dreams like a crouton. They sleeping like futon. You're stupid if you think I'm tryna prove you wrong. Casting melodies inside your ear with brute force. Bring it a vibe, who to find what you looking for. Keep on looking forward. Promise no tomorrow. Blessed in the mind. Push stress behind. Crooked neck encrusted in diamonds. On a quest like tribe. Vibrant. Bring peace and love across the land. Me and you are the same. Nothing less than a man. Hear me knocking. Keep on watching. Never giving up. Never me quit. God's gift. Obvious. Oh yes. Never me quit. Turn up. All the way up. It's stuck. Run up a check. How about that? Call back. I don't wanna talk. 100%. 100%. 100%. Never me quit. Invested so much of my soul. Love it too much to let go. Everyone telling me no, but I know that I'm ready to go. Evolution, I switch up the flow. Exotic, foreign, abroad. Feel I deserve an applaud. I'm a healer, believe in the Lord. Never me quit. God's gift. Obvious. Oh yes. Never me quit. Turn up, all the way up. It's stuck. Never me quit. There you go. Manifest. I'm done. So thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you for allowing me to share my time with you. This song means so much to me. I had it done by Beacon Hill Recording Studios. If you guys are familiar with them, they're in El Paso, Texas. They are the fucking. Oh, I'm sorry for cursing, but they are the truth. They are amazing. And if you guys like what I just performed and want to hear the actual song and the beautiful mix, I can post a link later on. But thank you for having me. I love this. I'll be coming back every Monday. I'm trying to get over my stage fright and shit as well because I do want to do performing live and stuff, and this is practice for me. So thank you guys again. It's from the bottom of my soul. I'm gonna shut my mic off and boom, 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 on to the next.
Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, no, thank you very much. I shared the link in the chat if you guys want to check that out. It's not Nito on Spotify. And yeah, shout out to Beacon Hill. Bunch of friends I know have worked out of there and collaborated with that studio. So very cool stuff. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on a bit to South Euclid, Ohio, where hold on, let me check the chat here. Got to make sure peeps are ready to go. Yeah, okay, cool. We have Doc Janning. Doc, good to see you. When you're ready to go and take it away. Hello, hello.
Always better seen than viewed. Offerings. Commanded to a life of service. Instructed in the way of a scribe. I give offerings of words. Words woven into lines and stanzas of poetry. Words to evoke, to inform, to guide. Words of comfort, of caring, of love, of life. Words which flow through me. Words from a source, and I am become a messenger, and I bear but one message, the oneness of all. This is a waltz and a song. dancing with reflections and shadows, reflections of an infinity which was, and shadows gone by. Stars and galaxies rush through traces of memory, flare and flicker through eons and ages of light. And the samsara of stardust is. Black holes sing in tones and tongues which never were. Songs of worlds within, worlds yet to be, and dimensions which exist yet cannot amid the silent skies of time. All a waltz and a song of the impossible which is, a waltz and a song of us. Palimpsest, spirit of Gaia, spirit of life, bringer of dreams and their mystic power. Palimpsest am I, scraped clean. I await your words to write me anew, to write with words woven of worlds, creating dreams within dreams, creating a life of dreaming and dreaming worlds into poetry. And I am going to finish with a cover. This past Saturday, I met in person Ada Limon, the Poet Laureate of the United States. And this is her poem in praise of mystery, a poem for Europa. It is engraved on a plaque on the Europa Clipper, which is on its way to circle Europa, the moon Europa, the moon of Jupiter. Arching under the night sky inky, with black expansiveness, we point to the planets we know. We pin quick wishes on stars. From Earth, we read the sky as if it is an unerring book of the universe, expert and evident. Still, there are mysteries below our sky. The whale song, the songbird singing its call in the bough of a wind-shaken tree. We are creatures of constant awe, curious at beauty, at leaf and blossom, at grief and pleasure, sun and shadow. And it is not darkness that unites us, not the cold distance of space, but the offering of water, each drop of rain, each rivulet, each pulse, each vein. O second moon, we too are made of water, of vast and beckoning seas. We too are made of wonders, of great and ordinary loves, of small invisible worlds, of a need to call out through the dark. Thank you.
Right, cool. Thank you, Doc. And of course, people can find you online. They look you up, Doc Janning, correct?
Correct.
All righty then, perfect. Appreciate you for joining us and making it on. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move along because we do have more people signed up. Got to make sure everyone does their thing. So we're gonna move from South Euclid, Ohio, to Greenfield, Massachusetts, where we have another debut. We got some poetry and a cappella. We have Storm up next. So Storm, when you are ready, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer over to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Hey.
Thank you very much. April is, among other designations, Autism Awareness Month. And I'm on the spectrum myself, and I have a very involved, multiply handicapped daughter who's nonverbal autistic, severely mentally impaired, and much more, who lives in a medical group home at a distance from me. And so this is a piece about that. The poem is more about me, and the song is about her. Her name's Mariah. And then I've got another piece. Okay. Outcropping. I am an outcropping in this current of conversation. Words rush around me, gurgling with connection, information, pathways of presence. Still, I remain solid, silent, unable to transform into fluid to join the flow that surges onward. Sometimes the wetness of a hello or pertinent question sloshes across me, and I moisten a little, causing tiny granules to journey onward, leaving behind a bit more smoothness, bringing slightly closer to view trilobites, gold, and years of hidden history I truly desire to have be discovered by you. And I should say that Dadi doesn't mean daddy. It was a sound that my daughter, when she was young, would make when she was happy. She hasn't actually made that sound in a couple of decades. When they named the wind, did they know of her? How she'd race, then thunder to be heard? Did they look and see this little girl with big brown eyes, golden curl? Daddy, she says, as she smiles at me, with eyes that see whatever she may see. Daddy, she says, and laughs again, while fingers flicker like drops of rain. Daddy, daddy, as I hold her tight. Daddy, daddy, everything's all right. Someday she may say a whole lot more. When that time might be, we're not even sure. For now she glances from the world she's in and lives someplace where all dreams begin. Daddy, she says, and smiles at me with eyes that see whatever she may see. Daddy, she says, and laughs again, while fingers flicker like drops of rain. Daddy, daddy, as I hold her tight. Daddy, daddy, everything's all right. Daddy, daddy, as I hold her tight. Daddy, daddy, everything's all right. Currently, she's physically 39 years old. Psychologically, she tests between 18 and 23 months, has never spoken, and can't fully clothe, bathe, toilet, or feed herself. And this one's more about where we find ourselves in the world at the moment. I picked it in part because it has a reference to barbed wire. And I noticed that that was the name of this site. Tearing down the fences. Growing up, we were taught good fences make good neighbors. Put all our energies into building fences. Stone was replaced by brick upon brick upon brick. Viewing our neighbors' work, ours never seemed as strong. We added reinforcements to show our caring, our love. Barbed wire, cement and iron were placed, to show our caring, our love. Cement and iron were placed on top. barbed wires were strung, then stretched to reach higher and higher. All was electrified. Long ago, we forgot that the purpose of fences was to keep our animals out of each other's fields. Long ago, we gave up having animals and fields. Still, we believe the maxim. Now our children squeeze their arms between the metal slats and reach towards each other. Timidly, their fingers touch. They can't quite clasp each other's hands. Saddened, they pull back, each vowing that tomorrow they will begin to tear down the fences. I am crying for the world this morning. I don't know how to sing. I'm crying for the world this evening, wondering what tomorrow will bring. Crying for the dreamers, crying for our dreams, crying for these days we live in where nothing's as it seems. Crying while I'm wailing, crying not making a sound, crying feeling so lost, asking to be found. Crying for the president, crying for our priests, crying for all children, waiting for release. Breathe deep of the mother, raise your prayers to the Father and the Son. Stand your ground together and do what must be done. I'm crying for the world this morning. I have found a voice to sing. We shall laugh and dance this evening, whatever tomorrow may bring, whatever tomorrow will bring. We shall laugh and dance this evening, whatever tomorrow may bring. We must laugh and dance this evening, whatever tomorrow may bring. Remember me a stranger who came to stay a while. Remember me a happy man with a joke, a laugh, a smile. Remember how my actions spoke of God and love. Remember how I soothed you through my gestures and a hug.
All right. Thank you, Storm. Appreciate that. And do you have a place where you want people can connect with you at all, or like that you help run or
Unfortunately,
anything?
I don't really. I'm I'm a troglodyte when it comes to knowing how to do a lot of this stuff. I need a 14-year-old kid to show me stuff, but I don't have one.
All right, fair, fair. Well, no worries. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm glad you were able to find us today, and hopefully in the following weeks. Hope to see you in the following Mondays. Thank you
thank you.
for reading that. And much like a real storm, you'll just kind of appear when we least expect it, or we can predict your movements by following the patterns. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying here. Segue transition, right, Kit? All right, let's go ahead and
Well, I've stayed sane through the pandemic by Zooming and
yeah.
performing poems and music in 9 different countries. So
Wow. Yeah, there's so many places. Yeah, there's a master list too. I got to get back on that, I think. But thank you, Storm, as always.
yeah,
Uh, on that as always for the first time, but hopefully many more times to come. I know. Actually, Mike Similar just made a really great point. For someone who's not so tech savvy, you were like on it, helping with the Zoom stuff earlier, and that comes from doing this. I get it. So, anyway, I am just stalling. We're gonna go ahead and continue on with the list because we do have a lot of people signed up, and we're gonna go ahead and visit our next performer in Phoenix, Arizona, who is here for their second time. Rocked it last week, so it's always great to have a return. Without further ado, here is gym leader Ellie. Hey, welcome back.
Hi, Richie. Thanks for having me again. I am gonna play an original song on my ukulele. I wrote this, and I'm working on this album. There's a buzzing. Why you buzz? No buzzing allowed. Is it still doing it?
Yeah, it's a little bit because it wasn't. Huh? We didn't hear this last time. So maybe a cable, right? I was gonna say it's gone, but you muted. Never mind.
Still there?
Maybe it's part of the effect. A little bit, but maybe if you play it, it won't be as prominent, like at a show, you know. I mean, we can still hear you just fine. It's just the buzz is a little there, but kind of like an amp buzz, you know. So it does have that effect. So yeah, I think you're good to go. I think you're good.
All right, whatever. Uh, so I'm working on this album. It is to be titled Ice Type, which is, of course, a type of Pokemon. And there are a number of. I write a lot of songs that have Pokemon puns and references in them. And the one I'll be playing is one of those. This song is called Snow Point, which is the name of a city in the Sinnoh region, which originated in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum for the Nintendo DS. And the song is about somebody who was kind of cold to me. So here we go. This is Snow Point. But yeah, I was gonna send you. Here you go. Read the lyrics if you want to. Is everything okay? Why won't you kiss me like the old days? What's with the slippery floor and the need to explore your ancient lore? Die algorithm, send the ultimate way. Is it true that your care's absence has now entered fashion? I don't wanna seem like a bore, but I keep finding I wanna settle for more. I don't mean to bring up the ghost, but I had to prove your love Thanks, y'all.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I wasn't sure if you were going to play another one or not, but do you want to promote websites or anything like that as well? Or
Do you want me to play another one?
yeah, I think you
Okay.
can.
All right, I got a short one here. Um, this is a love song I wrote to my favorite Pokemon that I ever used in a playthrough. It was my Electabuzz that I used in my Heart Gold version, and eventually I evolved it into an Electivire. This song's called Electivire. I'll climb as high as you. You glow whitish blue. Which of us will be struck first by the lightning? You and your brother were best friends worth fighting for. Saw you from Walker to Thunder Snow. Thank you for climbing with me to the very peak where we got stuck, but it made us stronger. Sure, we got lost up there, but something about the thinner air made me long to breathe even longer along with you. With you. You're standing next to me, following so happily, telling each other what to do that we thought might make us the most elite grown-ups with bigger feats. It wouldn't have been complete without you there. We made a couple trades, transfers, a bank exchange, hid in the bushes and at the Pal Park. Sure, it got tough sometimes, but you made it all worthwhile. I've got you backed up and I still feel that spark electrizing me. Heart had to skip a beat. Far cry from when I'd weep, so lonely on repeat. You're the best friend I made back in 11th grade. You stuck it out through the sift and somber. You were still just a buzz when we lost Nudge Mama. You saw me through, so I ran this wire for you. For you. Something like that. Thanks y'all so much for listening. I'm Gym Leader Ellie.
Perfect. Thank you. And I actually went ahead and shared the link tree so people can check that out.
Yay,
Very-
thank you.
Very cool stuff. All right,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna go
send you
ahead.
my invitation for my virtual open mic night. My next one's gonna be Thursday the 24th. You can put that in the YouTube chat or whatever.
All right, very cool. I will definitely find that there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Probably not the direct link, but we'll yeah. The
Okay.
link tree for sure. Okay. All right, we're gonna keep this thing going and
Thanks, Richie.
thank you, Ellie, as always. Let's see, we're gonna go ahead and get Julian up. Is Julian here? All right, yeah. Joining us from Malaysia is Julian Matthews. And when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Yeah, here we go. Let's get you here. All right, welcome, Julian.
Hi. Just wait for the screen to come up. Yeah. So the first one is called oh man. Let it go. See it. Ah, here it goes. Existential chrysalis. When I go, I'd rather not have people say, gone too soon. I'd rather they say he left right on time, never overstayed his welcome, went as he came. Head first, pushing through, shoulders high, a pelvis rocker, breech bopper, unhinged and released, unstrung and now deceased. In relative terms, a contraction or tree, perhaps freed and disentangled in space-time, driven by mysterious, infectious energy affecting, boundless, all-encompassing, like a Venetian gondola slicing through canals, subverting surface tensions, delving deeper under bridges, over currents, constantly oaring, even serenading, yet never boring. I don't want to be seen as a wannabe when I'm gone, but a triple dose of dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin that rush when you slow down and try to recall the way things were, my existence transparent, shamelessly apparent, a translucent, winged memory, furiously flapping inside, then landing ever so gently in slow-mo to pollinate the bouquet of your heart. Thank you. And this one is an old one called Secret. The epigraph is by Sean Thomas Doherty, an Irish contemporary poet. When one is weary and worn, we wear our secrets on the outside. Secret. At Mass during Our Father, as usual, you reach out to hold my hand. I always try to pull away early before thee, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. You always hang on, gripping tighter until, for the kingdom and the power and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen. I always forget that bit until you release me. My wandering mind is a messy, ransacked room these days. My memory a chest of pulled drawers. I rummage through them looking for secrets, hoping ancestors left some tucked in my DNA. At night, I read poetry by mostly dead white men. It's like shoveling dirt, excavating caskets, trying to find meaning in their bones, piecing them together like old jigsaws. Once I was in hospital with my dying father. He was asleep and I held his frail hand in mine. It was tied to the rail of the bed to avoid him pulling the IV out. I slipped my phone out and took a photo, possibly for a memory or for a blog post later. How unconscionable, self-centered, macabre even. He wasn't one for hugging, nor the touchy-feely kind. I was taking advantage either way. I don't regret it. He died 10 days later, and I blogged about his death, his memory, the photo of our hands clasping. I'm sure he wouldn't have minded. Right, Dad? Dead men, they say, tell no tales. But here's a secret even a living poet can share. That night, as I tired and tried to pull my hand away, Dad gripped it harder, not wanting to let go. Next Mass, I will do the same with you. And remember not to let go until our final Amen. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you, Julian. And you have your link tree, right? That you usually post stuff on, or you started a Substack as well, right? Do you want to promote any of that?
Yeah, sure, if you want to. So.
Yeah, feel free to share the link, and I'll forward it to people, for sure. Because I just saw you on there. Cool. Thank you as always. Love the work. Love getting to as always read along and kind of see it on the page and the stage together as one. Yeah. If you have any links, please feel free to post it there, and I will forward it to our awesome peeps on YouTube. What is going on, everyone on YouTube? Again, if you're tuning in, this is our Monday night online mic. It's like any other open mic. If you want to perform, you have to sign up. We have a pretty decent list right now, so I'm not going to take too long on this, but feel free to join us. It's open to music, poetry, and prose, any kind of writings. If you want to sign up and share that, you're more than welcome to. If you're an EPCC student, read the description for directions on how to get credit. Yeah, but go follow all of these performers, these writers, check out their stuff online, listen to their music, purchase their books, or just kind of read their blogs or Substacks. And we're going to keep this thing going, and we're going to go ahead and go from Malaysia to Gainesville, Florida, where we have Lycan in the house.
Could you
Like,
put into the chat how we can find the YouTube?
yes, so I'll go ahead and do that right now too. Um, let's see. Yes. I was like, that's not David. No, I'll get that for sure. Appreciate it. Okay. Without further ado, David, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Lycan.
All right. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Happy to be here again. Thank you, Richie. Thank you, BWOMS. If it's a testament of how much I appreciate you, Richie, for doing this. The best open mic in Gainesville is happening right now, but I'd much rather be here. So there's that. Today I got, since it's Poetry Month, I don't know if you would consider this poetry or prose, but it's something I wrote. It's called Revolutions. So here it goes. I lay there in the shadow cast by moonlight, in a bathtub, the water lukewarm at best. Above me, the ceiling fan of my mind kept spinning, driven by inertia. You see, I had made a conscious decision to turn my mind off, but that very thought kept reflecting back on itself until I found myself wandering an infinite hallway, the kind you see when a mirror faces another mirror, endlessly echoing into itself. As I drifted through this hallway, I couldn't tell whether the revolutions of my mental ceiling fan were speeding up or slowing down. It felt like the former, for I began to question whether I had ever truly experienced peace or love in their purest forms. I concluded that I hadn't. Those things are divine in nature, and my stupid monkey mind only wants to understand life, not accept it. Still spinning, I began to think about thought itself, metacognition. I wondered why I think the way I do. Can I even claim these thoughts as mine? Am I simply an embodied collection of experiences? And if so, am I also what the armchair professionals claim those experiences mean? As I wandered this strange hallway, I noticed something curious. It was a circle. Astonishing. The hallway only appeared infinite because I was willing to keep walking in circles, thinking about nothing, thinking about everything, thinking about thinking. So I sat down, closed my eyes. And in that moment, the revolutions of my ceiling fan mind finally came to a halt. I realized I did, in fact, have agency in my own life. But that realization brought a quiet sorrow. So much time I had spent looking at useless things, when I could have hugged more trees, planted more flowers, embraced more friends, even made new ones. I could have enjoyed the simple joy of frogs on walls and pollywogs in ponds. Thankfully, I'm here now, in the shadow of the moonlight, listening to owls sing and dance. Thank you. So there's that. Then I have a song I like to play. So this song is called Die Gedanken sind frei. It's a traditional German song. It translates to thoughts are free. And it was made famous. I guess it depends who you ask, but if you look up White Rose, that was during Nazi Germany, and these young people had lost their lives, speaking up, speaking truth to power, and so this is for them. And so yeah, I hope it goes well. I just kind of figured out the melody and how I wanted to do it today, so it's still kind of an improv, but we'll see how it goes. Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts freely flower. Die Gedanken sind frei, my thoughts give me power. No collar can map them, no hunter can trap them, no man can deny. Die Gedanken sind frei. I think as I please, and this gives me pleasure. My conscience decrees, this right I must treasure. My thoughts will not cater to duke or dictator. No man can deny, the Gedanken sind frei. Tyrants can take me and throw me in prison. My thoughts will burst free like blossoms in season. Foundations may crumble and structures may tumble, but free men shall cry, Die Gedanken sind frei. Cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Love you guys.
Very cool, man. Thanks. Love the instrumentation, and I shared your Bandcamp page there as well. Like in German, want to check out some of the stuff that he's been working on over the years. Very cool, man. I really liked it a lot. A lot of love here in the chat as well. All right, we're gonna go ahead and come back to El Paso for our next couple performers. In fact, you've seen her before, and if not, she's usually supporting very vigorously in the live chat. But it's always great when she makes it here as well. She's been leading a couple Tumble Wars workshops. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up Sandy to the mic.
Oh,
Sandy,
can you hear me?
no, who said that? What? Where? Hold on, let me get you on
Okay, I was wondering if my mic was working. All
Yeah, it
right.
works.
Oh, can I do screen share? Is that cool? See if I can navigate this. Hold on.
It's already on.
Okay, let me go ahead and screen share. All right. Let me see. Can you see it? I don't know. Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna
Can you make it a
do
little bigger?
mm, like that. Can you see it? Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, let me see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, all right. I can't see. Let's see. This one is cemetery visit. The click, the clack, rattling of bones, of stones in the skulls of the rotting dead. The click and clack of hip and femur, of rotating wrist in dirt deeper. In the midst of decaying cartilage, of falling flesh, devoured by maggots and worms. Inside graves and urns, the headstones wet under winter's snow, and I find comfort in the gloomy gray below. Heavy fog moves slowly in at twilight just before dawn. My footsteps quiet across the pale lawn. I whisper to those that are gone, to the restless spirits. I tell them to go back to sleep, to pray for those who weep. I hold the dying flowers in my cold, withering hands and place them on the headstone of where it stands. I come only to visit one, but all the other spirits rise even before I'm done. They speak to me in riddles, in tongues, in ululations, an untuned, unsynced choir of voices and salutations, asking me to give messages to the living. But I hum a sacred tune, and they disappear back into their graves for another year. But I will go away, far from here, for the dead have so much to say, even till this very day. Okay. And let's see, I'll do one more. I don't know. Let's see. Um, I'll do I'll just do this old poem here. This one is called Dark Nothing. Mm. Dark Nothing, you are delicious solitude. Devour me like stale old food. Hold me upon the edge of your blades. Stab me in empty alleyways. You're the dark matter inside me, pulling in the center of your gravity. A black hole where no light escapes, where bones are turned into flakes. Together we sleep in frozen graves and linger in murky, hollow caves. You're the bloody corpse that dances, peering through vacant skeleton glances. You're the melancholy song, the eternal angst horns that I've held for far too long. You disappear into motionless corners, holding secrets for only the loners. You're the black tar creeping in my veins, driving me insane. You're the shadow that follows me, the endless nightmare that never leaves. Wrap your thorns tightly around my throat and watch me silently choke. Oh, set me free. Oh, dark nothing, you are me. Okay. Is that funny? I'm sorry. I was being spooky tonight.
Okay, cool. Is there anything you want to promote or share social media wise, or you got your
uh,
website that you got to preview? That's cool.
oh yeah, yeah. Like let me show. Let's see. I got my online workshops here. Can you see? I got some online workshops that anyone can do, different ones. And then I got my poetry also there. And I got my Instagram at Sandy Candy Lens, if anybody wants to follow. Okay.
That's incredible.
Thanks, Richie. Thanks.
And I apologize to the last few readers, but I'm going to have to say goodnight. It's midnight where I am.
All right. Good night. Take it easy.
Thank you very
Storm.
much. It's been wonderful to meet you all, and I will be back.
Great.
Am I now on your mailing list, or do I need to give you?
I'll add it. I'll add you, but I don't really use it. I'll send out for the next one. Okay.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. So, let's see. One, two. We have several more people left, so we're gonna go keep this thing going. In fact, you heard the name. Kit Ren is up next. Mr. Monday Night. You can also catch him hosting Edible Sheepdog last Thursday of the month. After Kit, we have Sue, followed by Hillbrook, Wall Poet, Ed, and Dan. All right, Kit, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away, man. Let's see. There you are. Yo.
Ah, yeah, hi. Yeah. Crowded list, good list, cool list. I'm like going through random old notebooks just to some ones that are not ready for prime time. Yeah, let's see. I still aspire to the hopeful lie of neutrality. I still think the author is dead is a promise. I think idly of leaving unsigned pamphlets with elegant verse and crude drawings, and we'll see how far these get without me. Without my name, and my hollow point voice shooting verbs into bystanders. But that might not be poetry. That might be closer to taxidermy. The careful posing of something to appear alive. There's a dude I know, he never comes to these. He's desperate to be thought a poet. He'll snatch a stanza or two out of the air. But he won't come to these. He objects when I cast it as shyness. He thinks to death that the author was a threat. He can't stand the thought that his words will live without him, that they will see him on the street and say hello out of obligation and not joy and dependence. Well, you're going to have to get used to it, buddy. I sometimes call my poems my children. People think I am being dangerously sentimental, but I'm clear-eyed. Children grow up. First they beg, and then they take. Some of these poems could beat me up in a fight. Okay, well, the Masters was last week. Golf's for losers. Augusta National Golf Course was designed by a Scottish veteran of the Boer War to mimic the trenches. He explained his theory to Golf Illustrated magazine. The word golf appears exactly once in his article. Nature loves to hide. So do soldiers. We have spent so long mimicking and mocking nature that perhaps we should reframe the coming disasters as nature mocking us. Hurricanes are subterranean elections. Droughts are skyward boycotts. Maybe we'll remember a different Heraclitus quip. Hunting ain't no fun when the rabbit has the gun. Why is he so mad? I don't know. Might be your fault. Okay, here we go. Adorno said, how can there be poetry after the Holocaust? The answer is because there has to be. The urges of poetry and art are biological. They're not purely intellectual. Like heat for work and waste for food, art is the byproduct of a mind in the world, wrestling with the world. The world wins, and the world is boastful. So poetry is where we catalog all the times it didn't. It is true that in this analogy, and in many others like it, I am comparing poetry to shit. I don't take it back. I do not conceive it as an insult. Shit makes your garden grow. Shit is how animals boast that they have systems of ownership too. They too are defeated before they even start fighting. But nevertheless, they concern themselves with making their mark. And cover poem. I'm glad Mike Simler liked that article. He stole the poem I was going to read from it. That's fine though. That's cool. I knew the risks. And then Mom did Frank O'Hara. I've been doing a lot of Frank O'Hara. I'll do another Frank O'Hara. I'm in my Frank O'Hara era. This is Lana Turner Has Collapsed by Frank O'Hara. Lana Turner has collapsed. I was trotting along and suddenly it started raining and snowing. And you said it was hailing, but hailing hits you on the head hard. So it was really snowing and raining. And I was in such a hurry to meet you, but the traffic was acting exactly like the sky. And suddenly I see a headline. Lana Turner has collapsed. There is no snow in Hollywood. There is no rain in California. I have been to lots of parties and acted perfectly disgraceful, but I never actually collapsed. Oh, Lana Turner, we love you. Get up. All right. So Tumward's taking Easter off, and then on the 26th, we'll have Sil Munoz, great poet. Really happy to introduce her to some of y'all in the diaspora with Wounds to Words. So real great workshop. Really looking forward to it. Let's see. And Crown of Crows, that's on Wednesday. I'm not going to be there. April 24th, that's when I'll be hosting at Old Sheepdog. Great place that Gus has made. Beer gets better every week. Lots of great events there. Lots of great clubs. Like he's really made it like a big social pillar, and we're happy to also be on that pillar. I don't know. I don't have any cool little slogans. I just be out here. I just be doing shit. Get like me. Get like Richie. Richie's even cooler than I am. Get like us. Okay. When you're ready, Richie.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Kit. Caught me off guard with that one. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh, hey, we're going back to Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, where we have Sue Schnitzer here is going to share some music. Thank you for your patience. I know it's late, but yeah, we got you ready, Sue. All right. Yeah, good to see you. Welcome back. Take it away when you're ready.
Thanks. I was in Las Cruces last week and I had hoped to get to El Paso, but your thing was the day I drove there, and I'm old. There's only so much I can do. So this is a brand new song, new shit. It's about, it's for the guys that I play music with in Las Cruces. They haven't heard this yet. They're going to hear it on Friday night when I go back there for a gig. It's about, well, you'll figure out what it's about. It's called Coffee and Empanadas. I didn't abandon you. The flood kept us all away long enough that I had to leave without seeing you again. It was a blue day downtown when I saw the close sign on the door. I knew I'd try to come back someday, wasn't sure when or for how long. And it made me sad, it made me sad, it made me sad to go without having a chance to say goodbye. I wondered what would happen when I walked back in that door. Would you remember my name? Would I remember yours? The answer is they all remembered my name. I didn't remember any of theirs. I felt terrible. Would Frankie be at the counter? Would Kansas be sitting near the door? Would they still have coffee and empanadas like they did before? And it made me sad, it made me sad, it made me sad to go without saying goodbye. I travel a lot and I meet some people I know I'll miss when I leave. It doesn't take long to find a common song we both like to sing. But the water rushed in and I ran out of time, had to leave without seeing you again. Coffee and empanadas, they just don't taste the same anywhere else I've ever been. Well, it made me sad, it made me sad, it made me sad to go without getting to say goodbye. Coffee and empanadas, you know they just don't taste the same anywhere else I've ever been. Yeah, anywhere else I've ever been. Coffee and empanadas. I did actually remember Frankie and Kansas. It was all the other guys, I couldn't remember their names, but I recognize them. All right, it's been mentioned it's Passover, and usually I celebrate Passover. This year well, number one, I couldn't find matzah in Las Cruces, but this is a piece I wrote a couple of days ago. I call this commentary. I'm not sure it's poetry, but maybe it is. You can tell me. I still haven't posted this anywhere. Chag Sameach to those of you who celebrate Passover. May you have a sweet Passover and a joyful Seder, if you host or are a guest. I wasn't able to buy matzah or gefilte fish yet, and hopefully we'll be able to get them in a few days. It won't break my heart, and my digestive system will probably thank me if I don't get matzah at all this year. For those of you who aren't Jewish, Passover, Pesach, is a week-long holiday commemorating the exodus of Jews from Egypt in the 10th century. It isn't a pretty story. The Jews, known as the Israelites, were slaves. Except for Moses, whose mother had placed him in a basket in the river, where Pharaoh's daughter found him, brought him to the palace, and raised him, even though she knew he was probably Jewish. When he got older, Moses saw God. I'm not going to tell that part of the story, who told him to free his people. Moses went to Pharaoh, who said no. God then bestowed plagues upon the Egyptians, and after each plague, Pharaoh still said no, until eventually Pharaoh let Moses' people go. That's a very distilled version. The Pharaoh's actions were nasty. The plagues were nasty. The Israelites fled in haste without time for the bread to rise, hence matzah, the unleavened bread. The sea parted. Moses led the Israelites through. The sea then closed, drowning the Egyptians who were chasing them. To me, the Passover story is more than one story, more than one message, much more than a child at a Passover Seder could possibly comprehend. It's a lot for an adult to comprehend. It's hard for me to understand a God who would kill firstborn sons, a God who stands by while bad things happen and then strikes with a vengeance that we mere mortals have been told is wrong. Like many biblical stories, there are many aspects which trouble or puzzle me. But this is the story which gave rise to the notion of God having a, quote, chosen people, close quote. So it's an important holiday, an important story, and therefore worth telling. I'm pretty sure these days some people could draw parallels to present day issues and present day rhetoric, to how religion and God are used. I'm sure some people might argue about the Jews being the chosen people. I'm sure some people might see God as vengeful instead of loving. And I'm sure some people might see it as God choosing a side. And I'm also sure that some people believe the Bible is a book of fiction and have a totally different version of what God is. One thing I'm certain of now, even though I bought into it as a kid, is that God isn't some old guy with a beard who watches everything we do. I mean, how I ever believed that baffles me. I actually never totally believed it. It seemed too crazy. How could one old guy see everything, everyone, everywhere at the same time? Anyway, if you celebrate Passover, Chag Sameach. If you're Jewish and don't celebrate Pesach, I hope you have a good week. And if you aren't Jewish, please don't tell me that the Jews have Passover and the Christians have Easter. Yes, we do. But there's no relationship, although we do have a hard-boiled egg on the Seder plate. This year, many Jews are emphasizing that Passover is a holiday of resilience. They're kind of minimizing the bad stuff like the plagues, Egyptians dying, God picking favorites, the fact that the plagues passed over the Jews. Now, nothing passes over anyone. But there are certain religious people who think their God is the only true God, and their religion is the chosen one. Enjoy your matzah and macaroons. I might have been a little cynical when I wrote that.
All right. Thank you, Sue Schnitzy Doodles on Substack and then on YouTube as well. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a link tree. That's the easiest. I'll throw that in the chat.
Okay. Perfect. Cool. All right, and we'll share that as well. Hey, Steven, hanging out with us in the chat. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you, Steven. As always. Okay. Next up we have let's see, we're gonna go to joining us in Las Cruces, who also not only went to Raleigh Point, but also got to enjoy write a little bit at the songwriter workshop this past Friday. We have Halebrook, gonna share a little bit of spoken word. Halebrook, when you are ready, I'll go ahead and get you here on the spotlight. Welcome back. It's been a little while, but when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
How's it going, everybody? This is Hellbrook. I've got two pieces that I wrote earlier this month, and it's funny how synchronicity works because the first one is titled Voice, and then I believe it was last Friday we had that about silence, if I remember correctly, that writing prompt. So this is my first time performing it. Silencing a voice is like telling a hawk not to soar in the sky, like telling the raging fire in a soul to die, like quelling a lonely heart yearning to feel love, like dimming a star's light across infinity thereof, like telling the summer's breeze to cease its graceful dance, like refusing to give your life one last chance, and sitting idly by while time passes by and you're often ignored by passers-by or sometimes viewed as a waste of space by the by. And by the time you say your final goodbye, you'll look back and regret that you let your voice grow ragged, your heart grow cold, your light darken. Give me 1 second. I gotta figure out where I put the other one. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, I believe this was last week I made this one. I can't remember. It's called Your Biggest Fan. Your higher self is rooting for you, digging deep in the fertile soil of potential. It's hoping to bask in the glorious rays of your burning heart and thirsting for the sweat and tears of your unwavering vigor. It prays that you stand firmly during times of drought, and that your desires for betterment keep you warm during cold fronts, that you stay the course of growth when faced with setbacks, and that you give yourself grace and remember that everything is a process. For every living, breathing being begins its cycle as a seed, and in time will sprout branches and bear fruit amongst its leaves. Aspire to be one with your higher self. Listen to their words of wisdom. Open your ears and stifle your ego. Be the eager student and willful learner. Your higher self is your biggest fan. Their cheers echo through the rafters of your soul. Thank you.
Awesome, man. What a killer voice you have, man. Just so fun to listen to. When next time we have some commercials, man, I got to hit you up for some voice acting gigs. Awesome, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you,
Yeah,
Brooke.
sorry, I volunteered for a community radio, Las Cruces Community Radio. I've done, I believe, 3 or 4 spots. One was for oh man, why am I forgetting her name? It's for Women's History Month. And for some reason I can't remember her name, unfortunately. She was a pilot of World
Amelia
War
Earhart.
II, I believe. No,
Oh,
no, she was
pilot.
a woman
Yeah.
of color. I'm
Yes.
so sorry. Anyway, yeah, I did 3 or 4 so far. But yeah, that's it, guys. I appreciate it.
Cool, man. And also feel free to share any links too. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you, Hillbrook. I love the axolotl. Again, for those of you watching on YouTube, you can never really see our photos when you have our cameras off. So that was a cool axolotl picture there, cartoon picture. Okay, we have a couple more peeps left, and in fact, I was talking about the 30 for 30. Our next performer and reader has been submitting a lot, and I know has been going through the challenge too. It's tough, and day 13 was a fun one. Kind of talking about poetry prompts. It even inspired some new poems for the next day. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, Wall Poet. But we're gonna go ahead and bring up Wall Poet. Welcome back. Good to see you, man. When you're ready, take it away. Yo.
Always a pleasure to be here. All right, give me a second. I got 4 for y'all. And they're all from the 30 for 30. All right. And some of them have I think all of them have edits. All right. Um, all right, the first one's called My Cell Phone Likes to Complain About Me. And then parentheses, bitter tales from a Samsung Galaxy flip phone. So first time I'm reading this out loud. All right. You use me to keep you antisocial. I glow like bioluminescent algae, keeping unwanted face-to-face conversations at bay. You're welcome. While your fingertips walk across my scalp, poking my ears, making me talk louder at a whim. I fold in half like origami, my face scarred from your negligence. My name is as timeless as galaxies. Sam sung it in a song once, which reminds me that I get tired of storing your played out playlists. Music wasn't only recorded between 1994 and 2003, you know. Often I'm exhausted and feel half charged, but like clockwork, you have me wake you up every morning. And the monotony of my life repeats itself like the movie Groundhog Day. But at least sometimes I look over at you and you seem to be passed out. And that's when I get the chance to finally close my eyes and dream. All right. And there's another short, somewhat shorter one. All right. This one's called Words Like to Fly Too. Everyone knows that I wish to fly. But who knew that words like to fly too? And not just any words, but my words, including adjectives, nouns, verbs, adverbs, and even semicolons and apostrophes. Because my words as of yesterday were huddled in a corner of the page, planning their escape. And my words as of yesterday were so eager to explore the universe that they had a blueprint, escape route, and a design of a paraglide, all stuffed in their backpacks while they plotted their flight for freedom. Watching skeptically from afar with binoculars, I was secretly rooting for them. I mean, they'd make great poems, but if they'd rather feel the wind caressing their face, massaging their scalp, and whispering sweet nothings in their ear, who was I to stop them from experiencing a feeling of weightlessness and pure bliss? And who was I to prevent them from a feeling where they get to feel the pristine presence of a higher being guiding them? And really, who was I to keep them from a place where limits are an afterthought and a sensation that can make them feel alive and free of constraints? That is until finally I saw them carefully approach the edge of the page and get a running start, close their eyes, take a deep breath, face their fears, take the big leap, and finally take off. All right. So those two poems are kind of like different styles. And then this is just stuff more than I'm used to. So back to the spoken word style I'm used to. All right, this one's called My Reason for Writing. I feel like every writer should have an origin story the way superheroes do. Some reason, some critical moment that makes you want to be a writer. Except my reason has nothing to do with avenging a loved one's death or being bitten by a radioactive spider. Mine was simple. It was reading my words aloud at 7 years old for Story Day Friday in the second grade and having everyone in the room lean forward in the chair and hang on to every word. And that moment replays in my head like a movie reel. And that moment encapsulates how I still feel when I read my words aloud. But that was back then. Why do I keep at it? Why do I still write? Well, I write when I'm depressed or feeling powerless, and I write to self-reflect, figure out what's next, or just need to vex on a page. I write after drinking 3 IPAs and sitting on a basement couch while listening to Bob Marley and Sublime after working an exhausting day. And I write when the only place I can express myself is on this page. I write when it's 5 a.m. and a poem wakes you up by tapping your forehead, forcing you to write it down before you forget. I write when it's 12 p.m. and a kernel of a poem magically appears inside your head mid-conversation. And now your coworker's words are flying past you in slow motion, but all you want to do is write down the poem idea before you forget. I write when you're sitting in a bathroom stall at work and think of a better line for that 5 a.m. poem. So now you recite it to yourself out loud, even though people can hear you outside the stall, because all you want to do is write down the line before you forget. I write because I can't sleep until I finish writing the poem that's been doing backflips in my head all day. I write because I have the complete intention of performing this on stage. I write because I'm far better at poetry than any sport I've ever played. I write because I still have a glimmer of hope that my writing career will eventually take off, and and then I can just write and perform for the rest of my days. I write because I have a hidden desire to try stand-up comedy, but I'm too terrified, so I'm good with having my pieces be funny instead. I write because when I stopped writing, a void as big as the Grand Canyon grew in my soul, but right now, it's not only full, but like skyscrapers in the sky, it also gleams. I write because it's never too late to follow your dreams. And I got another one. And this one's got a good reaction. This one's called How Do You Know a Poem is Ready? All right. When the words in your poem start to backspring off the page like cliff divers in Hawaii landing in the Pacific Ocean, then you know your poem is ready. When adrenaline rushes through your veins as you read your poem aloud while you perform for a 10-person open mic, but perform it the exact same way you would for a sold-out audience at the Lincoln Theater, then you know your poem is ready. When you feel every line, every beat, and the rhythm of your words start to sound like a seasoned salsa conjunto with claves and el guido spinning each other around on the dance floor, followed by the blaring of brass trumpets right up to the 10-minute conga solo, then you know your poem is ready. When your poem is a mixture of chaos, humor, and pain, and yet it all makes sense, then you know your poem is ready. When your poem snores loudly like a grizzly bear outside your tent, knowing at any moment when it wakes up, all havoc will ensue, then you know your poem is ready. When your poem shines as brightly as a supernova in the night sky, then you know your poem is ready. When you don't really need to ask anyone, is this any good? Then you know your poem is ready because we all know you're not satisfied with that sleepy poem that can barely keep its eyes awake poem. And we know you're not satisfied with I think it's a pretty good poem. Because if you're going to write a poem, why not go for broke? Why not let your poem deliver a fatal knockout blow like Ryu in Street Fighter hearing Hadouken? As your words lift up their arms in triumph on the page. And if you're going to write a poem, why not let the poem tell you what you're going to write instead? Trust the process because the poem knows that it'll open its eyes, lift up its head, stretch out its legs, find its balance. Don't overthink it. Don't be a drill sergeant. Poems don't respond well to orders. They hate being micromanaged. They need breathing room, leg space. They want independence to know that love, a place to call home. This I know. Trust me, I know. But how do I know? Because my poem is ready. All right. Thank you very much. Anyone interested in following me who doesn't already, WildPoet82 on IG. Yeah, I've been enjoying those the 30 for 30. I've been working, so doing my best.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thanks, man. And I'll be honest, all you guys submitting inspire me to kind of keep going with my writing too. I'm pushing it. Like, what am I writing today? Oh no, but it's something and it's there. Man, always killer pieces. If you want to read more, you can also check out more of his stuff online. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bring up our penultimate performer. As you know, we're gonna head over to Washington, D.C. Well, we got some jokes and poems from the one and only Eddie P, Mr. Ed Poetastic. Ed, when you're ready, go and take it away. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, my brother, like no other word like thunder. Gotta love the open mic that makes our money license light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. Hello, my name is Ed Potastic. I'm feeling fantastic. Please, in time, could join my rhyme, thoughtful, sublime. I got 12 jokes and 3 poems, so I won't take too much time. But first, knock, knock.
Ah, shit. Who's there?
I am.
I am who?
You don't know who you are?
No, help.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
I'm a getting.
I'm a getting who?
I'm a getting a little bored.
Oh, okay.
Knock, knock.
Who's
Come
there?
in.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Cash.
Cash who?
I prefer peanuts.
Me too.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Opportunity.
Opportunity who?
When opportunity knocks, you answer.
That's right.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ben.
Ben who?
Been knocking for 10 minutes. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Howard.
Howard who?
Howard who? Good. How are you?
I'm asking the questions here. Funny, man.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
A broken pencil.
A broken pencil. Who?
Never mind, it's pointless.
Oh.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Noble.
Noble who?
No bell. That's why I knocked.
Yeah,
Knock
that
knock.
happens. Who's there?
Cows go.
Yeah, let's go who?
No, silly gals go moo.
They'll say what I want them to say.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Ellie.
Ellie who?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Get the
Knock
hell out
knock.
of here, Holmes. No, who's there?
Owls.
Owls who?
They sure do. And last but not least, knock knock.
Who's there?
Ice cream.
Ice cream who?
Ice cream if you don't let me in.
I do not forgive you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kit. You are a hit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for looking at my jokes for you folks. I'm glad it put the smile on everyone's face and sent extra grace. All right. I got 3 poems for 30 to 30 Poetry Challenge. The first one is called A Bridge Recap. The end isn't the end. By nowhere or when. An adventure is never over. Ask a cartoon named Homer. I know this isn't Springfield. We can't bounce around minefields. Oh, so you completely agree. So let's talk bonds in poetry. The bond's still there if you dare to share. Please let us build a connection for directions of reflection. Who cares about formalities or different nationalities? We are both human creatures with unique outer inner features. Let's have a cultural exchange. It doesn't have to be strange. There it is, the ugly indifference. Does it have meaningful equivalents? I just want to build bridges and cut up some ditches. Let's build it with understanding. Let's make it vastly everlasting. Please tell me about yourself, even the book you keep on the shelf. We're not different, you and I. I know you're a guy, but so am I. I know you're a woman, but I'm not. Let's not make time rot on the spot. I know you're they, but I'm not. I don't care, but let's give it a shot. Let's build a path on top of words, larger than any tower in Big Bird. This is only a bright beginning. Let's make life more interesting. Thank you. Let me see. My next one is Joyride. My tires hug the concrete. No time being discreet. Both hands on the wheel, the pedals on my heels. The wind through our hair, with a mind full of I don't cares. I'm just expressing my freedom, minus tons of unbearable criticism. Driving or flying across the land, while my stress turns to dry up sand. The bright sun smiling up high, I feel like I can touch the blue sky. I can keep up with bumblebees, while my stereo sings like a canary. I wish everyone could experience this, instead of eating an empty dish. I wish everyone could be free instead of experiencing tragedies. I wish everyone could be themselves instead of closed like books on the shelves. I wish everyone could be healthy instead of fueling the bellies of the wealthy. I wish everyone could know peace instead of a release by an iron piece. I wish everyone could freely travel instead of tasting gravel, feeling so fragile. I wish everyone could be happy instead of crappy, feeling less than shabby. I wish everyone could be open minded instead of being blinded by being single minded. I wish everyone could have a heart instead of screaming darts smell like farts. I wish everyone dream could be true instead of pink glue on the bottom of your shoe. I wish everyone could work together instead of being storms in the weather. I wish everyone could love life instead of pleasing their appetite with a knife. I wish this isn't about me. Find your own type of free venturing in life's sea. Thank you. And my last one is called What's going? It's called Dwelling with a Grin. My beautiful Judas, you betrayed me with coldness. Your eyes were crystal bells, but now cold as jail cells. What did I do for your hate? Was this fate? Oh, the quakes. I saved you from sin, not once but over again. I shower you with love by the heavens above. I dripped in all your dirt till my heart burst from the hurt. I gave you guidance whenever you walk and prance. I gave you golden coins. I even give you bitcoins. I given you miracles like an imbecile. I gave you priceless materials on a pedestal. I gave you sparkling gems. I gave you roses without stems. I gave you sparkling diamonds. I gave you whatever you command. I gave you my golden halo. I gave you jewelry that glows. I just want to be the guy who made you fly. I sigh with cries in the corner of your eyes. As I get nailed by foolishness, my heart crying in the distance. I learned my holy commandments. Sometimes you need to split the difference. You can learn from demons, which is repent on your reasons. If you don't experience torment, how can you cherish what's decent? I understand it painfully burns, but beware of hellish patterns. Please don't take yourself for granted. Please toss away what you know is rancid. We all suffer from inner heartburn. Please know it's no concern that love will return. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ed. And once again, how can people find and support you online?
Sure, you can follow me and support my line while come to this wonderful workshop that makes our money. I'm sorry, not workshop, open mic that makes our Monday such a delight in the wonderful Protestic Spotlight. All right, but you want to follow me, plus for free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman and my IG is Eddie Foreman92. And always remember, if the mic is right, I'll be there to share my Protestic insight. If you send me a quest, you would take guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay healthy, safe, and blessed. Now stop spewing the wonder words that shout out of your chest. Now stop feeling and being and doing your best. And always remember, you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow and never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show.
All right, perfect, man. Love it. Let you finish those lyrics there. Okay, cool. So, just as a quick recap, again, thanks to everyone who joined us today and hung out with us online on here on YouTube. Again, if you're an EPCC student looking for Tejano passport credit, the directions on how to get that are in the description of the YouTube video. So go check that out. Pretty much watch, listen, and a kind of little brief report, what you thought. You'd be emailing me. Again, that's in the description of the YouTube video. All right, Dan, you ready? We got one last reader left, and as always, it's the one, the only Dan the man. All right, man.
Yeah. Ooh, still like poetry. Yep. National Poetry Month. Yep. Some words that we can agree, but no wonder poetry is still the key, but sometimes prose could be off key. Not like it's the spelling bee or something or some like the something we could not pay the fee or its words are free, but sometimes they're kind of like um, a talking spree. Yep, we could do 1, 2, 3. Yeah, three. Like the movie Three, I saw. It's the premiered one with the cameo by Eric Roberts. It was a cool movie. It was beautiful. Uh, that Las Cruces International Film Fest over the weekend. It's the movies you place to see, and the International Film Fest, 10 years, it's a place to be. No off key. Yep. Well, yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow's tax day. Oh man. No one tax needs to be absentee, but even though it's a refugee, but it ain't no shopping spree or spelling bee. So If you already got your college degree, well, it's lock and load and key. Now, there's no part in me, but it's only in Washington, D.C. Only to be an Oscar nominee, but who can disagree? So, yep. And like my nephew, his favorite Transformer is a Bumblebee. Yep. And I saw Mrs. Sanders's 6-month-old baby. Such a sweet pea. Yep, who can guarantee? Yep. And no wonder that the month is National Always Poetry. Yep. Just like you're sitting down the coconut tree. All right, guys. I got a lot of catching up to do, so I'll keep you guys posted. Still follow me on Instagram. Get my latest episodes on YouTube. Hashtag Damn Man's Weekly. And I'll see you next Monday. Well, we still got 14, two Mondays left for National Poetry Month. Okay, still got the light, but ain't no fight, according to Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield. Okay, guys. Hey, Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night. Richie? Oh,
Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing?
good.
Was that all right? Hey, how's that rhyme
I'm good.
book doing, huh? Rhyme zone, huh? Getting away with some rhyme crimes. Very good, very good.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you, Dan, for being our last reader. Again, if you do want to join these in the future, all you have to do is sign up. You can find the link in most of our on our Linktree social media. But if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be notified when we set up the next video for the live stream. And in the description will be the link to sign up pretty much the day before. So the Sunday before that Monday of the open mic, you can find it there. You can subscribe to our Linktree. It's very easy to subscribe to. Just you can find the link, and there's a button on the upper left-hand corner of the screen there, where you can get an email notification. It's very easy, and that I only use that to send out notifications of the new sign-up sheet. But yeah, you can also just email us. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Quick recap again: we will not be at Mono Bar tomorrow. We're gonna take a Tuesday off. I'm gonna go to sleep early, guys. Imagine. And then Wednesday we'll be at Crown of Crows downtown. Check it out for our storycraft. Bring some stories. If you know anyone who likes to write prose, or if that is a great storyteller, let them know. Let them know to come through. It's completely free, and just come meet some cool peeps as well. The last one was pretty chill and nice, and the owners loved it. So, other than that, I'll see you guys next Monday, or if I see you during the week. All right, that's it for the live stream. Till next time, have a good night. Have a great week. Peace.